Joining us here, top of hour number 3, is one of our favorites, one of our favorite guests on one of our favorite shows. We just had Larry David on last Thursday. There's now 2 Curbs left, 2 Curb Your Enthusiasms left in the 12th and final season that you can see Sunday night on HBO and, of course, on Max through the Roku channel, Roku portal as well. Our friend Jeff Garlin back
and
here.
I'm appearing via Zoom. No one knows that. I'm not here.
It's so
By the way,
it's so lifelike.
In the intro, actor and comedian. No, I'm a comedian.
Yes.
Who sometimes acts.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, I am. By the way, for a comedian, excellent actor. For an actor,
Can you write that down? Make sure next time that Jeff comes on, we'll flip those two.
Jeff, I've been watching a lot of Daddy Daycare lately.
What's wrong with you?
Phenomenal.
Why would you do that?
Phenomenal movie.
Well, when you by the way, I will say this: it is a kids' movie. When you're a parent watching with them, you don't want to kill yourself. It is that good. Well, you don't want to die, because when my kids were young, I wanted to die. Okay, so I'm at a Digimon movie, not the other one, Digimon movie, and I'm watching my son, and it is soothing me to sleep. My son keeps waking me up because I'm missing the good part, and it was painful.
Well, you told me when, because I've known you forever, you told me, and my oldest is now, I just watched A Few Good Men with him last night, which is great. I'm beginning to show him. In this day and age when everybody's these kids are watching stuff that's 90 seconds a piece, sitting down having a talking movie that's 2 hours and 15 minutes. Right. But he loved it. But I bring this up because he's now 15, and you told me before Susie and I had our first kid, you told me that your children watch TV shows and movies, that you get joy watching them, and you're like, and you should do that. When you have your kid and you watch them.
And I wasn't wrong.
You were not.
I was not wrong at all.
That was a great tip. You watch them. It's so enjoyable.
When the Digimon, he woke me up, I just watched him watching it. And it was on, we're in a theater, and I'm just watching him watching it. And then sometimes he'd catch me, and he was so young, he would go, Dad, where an older child would do that, even though I kept yelling. They're 28 and about to be 24 now. They're about to be 28 and 24 in the next few days. And I say I love you to them all the time. They are very affectionate and love me, but if they catch me staring at them, I'm dead. As well as I remember my father staring at me and thinking he's nuts. Not so much anymore.
Not so much anymore. I know. I am you're taking pictures of me right now, huh?
I have to turn my camera on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, hey.
No, Rich.
Yes.
I realize, I told you, I've had ones I got ones of Conan, like every talk show I've done, essentially.
Yes.
I never had yours.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, so I'm happy to have
And
you.
you're an excellent photographer, by the way. I
got to tell you, first I'm a comedian, and I'm a comedian who does photography.
Well, actor, or then you want photographer second when we redo the open?
What's the order? What's the order?
I have a show coming up in Bellevue, Seattle, in June, a photo show.
Okay.
And I've had one in Boston, one in Chicago, and out here in L.A., and I'm doing a book. So,
and I know you throw them up on your Instagram page every now and then. They're really good pictures.
Rarely, but yeah.
Yeah, you've done that.
I'll put some up on my webpage someday. I don't run it. I just give it to somebody.
There's 2 Curbs left, man.
Yeah, I know. 9 and 10.
Larry said he's not sentimental about it. Are you?
Not at all.
Not at all?
0.
Why?
And by the way, I'm a sentimental guy.
I know. That's why I'm asking.
And Larry is not a sentimental guy.
That's why I'm asking.
Although he has more than he lets you know.
Okay. Yeah.
I am really happy it's over. There was only joy for me. Joy and a gift of doing something that's designed for my skills. I feel like I'm Liam Neeson. I've got a certain set of skills, and that's Curb Your Enthusiasm. And I'm the only other person besides Larry who has been there from the very first moment the show was conceived. The moment, he and I. That's it. There's no one else. And then a little while later, his assistant, Laura Stryker, who used to be Laura Fairchild, she was his assistant, and she was there at the beginning, and she's one of the producers, and she was great. She's a great producer and a great woman. But it's really the 3 of us, and then everyone else at different, I was there for Cheryl's audition. I was in the room watching her audition, and then I was there for JB's. I mean, I have been there through all of this.
How did that
I am not sentimental at all.
First of all, I can't understand that, but I get it. But although I just contradicted myself. How did you first get connected with LD on this subject matter?
He and I were acquaintances from stand-up, and I had directed Dennis Leary and Jon Stewart's Off Camera, their HBO specials. Okay. And when I was working with Dennis, who described me as his Danny Murtaugh.
Okay. Sure.
I was a manager of it. But what I thought was, what would be a great special would be about a guy making a special, and you see what goes into making a special, and then at the end, he doesn't really have to do the special, so the special is the making of the special. I told the right guy.
And there we go.
Yeah, I told the right guy. And by the way, when you tell a genius, things happen. I told a genius, and it's been, the journey. I'm so grateful. That's like I'm singing the 7th inning stretch in Chicago on the 5th. Yeah, the 5th. And Ohtani will be there. On the 5th, we bet that I wasn't going to show.
Nice.
No, by the way,
that's the comedian.
Don't do that. It was a lame joke, but I didn't need help with how lame it was. Anyone who's listening or watching going, that was a lame joke. I acknowledge, the tip of the hat, sir. But holy crap, you didn't have to make it worse. I'm having a nice conversation with you about Curb.
Yes.
I'm giving information that usually doesn't come out.
I know that. That's which I'm enjoying.
But I will say this.
Yes.
I don't sit in editing with Larry. It's been since the beginning is the last time I did. I don't sit in editing with him.
Right.
Jeff Schaefer is there for all of editing, and they do a great job. But I get cuts, and I give any notes. The least amount of notes this season than ever before. So I've watched 1 through 8. I didn't want to watch 9 or 10. I had them. I have them. I didn't want to watch them. 2 reasons. The same reason I've never seen Babylon, but a little bit different. I'm in the movie Babylon. I know I'm going to hate my performance. So the movie will either suck or I'll love it. It won't be in between. It's too great of a filmmaker to have it be either terrible or wonderful. And it's been very split from what people hear, which tells you the filmmaker's doing something. He's risking. It's like me bombing. If I don't take a chance, I ain't gonna. I got to bomb. It comes with the territory. But if I watch it, I actually would like my performance, and it might make me sad. All right, I came to the truth.
There you go.
I discovered it while I'm sitting here.
Well, you'll see him over the next 2.
No, I won't watch them.
Come on now.
No,
you have to.
By the way,
you have to.
One of the greatest lines that I ever came up with on Curb that I gave to someone else is coming up on this Sunday.
I know who the someone else is because I have seen it.
Yeah. Well, by the way, you since the beginning have seen all of them. He's part of our test, audience guys that Larry takes because Larry respects the hell. That's why he's here. By the way, great interview with him.
Thank you. It was so much fun with him. And by the way, it's one of the honors of my life is to be in this seat.
We did your other one, the one 900 years ago on the NFL Network.
Yeah, right.
With JB, myself, Larry,
and Bob Einstein.
Bob Einstein, my brother. And by the way, losing Richard, it wasn't a surprise because he was very ill and he would sit in, the golf cart or at the table when we were filming something. So it wasn't a surprise, but it tore the crap out of me. And I'm going to tell you something funny that he did.
Please.
This is a unique perspective. Hanging with Richard, since he's had Parkinson's, if someone comes up and tells him he looks good, he would do this, Parkinson's. In other words, any compliment he get, he would cough Parkinson's. And I would lose it. And he loved when I thought something he did was that funny. And that's the last joke that I heard him. This is, I can't talk about him. Got to stop.
I hear you.
But I miss him. Yeah.
I hear you.
So 10 is so complex. It's like a Rubik's Cube.
The finale.
And you having seen it, okay? Now, when I get the outline for it, at the beginning, I'm going, what is he doing? Why is he doing this? This is just so dumb. Why is he doing this? And then you go, oh my God, this is brilliant.
It is.
Like, it was amazing to see that. And then when we did it, it was just, Yeah, but no one was sentimental on set. None of us started crying.
Well, isn't that
hold on. I have to admit something else.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
All right, so yes, I'm not sentimental about it, but last day of filming, last scene ever of the show, and Jeff Schaffer comes out and says, that's a wrap on the greatest sitcom of all time. One of the greatest, if you ask me. I can't judge it. You know, I don't watch it like you do, but I can say it is a great one. And I began bawling. Inconsolable. I just remembered that now. So we're doing the scene. I'm inconsolable. Every one of Ted Dance and Cheryl, like everybody comes up to me, puts their hand on my shoulder. Richard. And Larry didn't know about it. And I'm all a mess and I'm walking back to my trailer. I see young Kib coming back to just pat me on the back. You know, say, I know, pal. Because now I'm getting sentimental out here. It's a bunch of crap. Point being is, as I told you, from the very first second, I'm there with him till now. It's fucked up.
Yeah,
but I'm happy. I swear I am.
No, it's
I'm
happy.
Grateful, and I'm happy, and I've got some things coming up that I'm really happy about, and I will always be creative, and I'm doing that podcast with Susie. The history of Curb Your Enthusiasm.
With Susie Essman.
With Susie Essman, and we've had Larry on. The point being is, I have to watch all these again, which it doesn't bring me joy.
Come on, man.
No, by the way, I look at a scene, and I can think what I had from craft service during that scene. And by the way, if you think I'm kidding, just watch old episodes with me, and I will tell you. And one I watched recently on our thing, I remember we had originally our caterer, and he made what I essentially called tuna soup. There was so much mayonnaise that the tuna would float around. And by the way, that might be the slightest exaggeration. Anyhow, I saw a scene. I'm like, oh, tuna soup day. That was tuna soup.
The scenes with you and Susie Essman,
yeah,
where she just is so angry with you, and you are so just trying to avoid the anger and just trying to dodge the bullets to get through.
And I've lived that. I love Marla. Marla's not, and my girlfriend, but I get it from both of them. Not like Susie.
Oh my God!
Really, it's a classic. Truthfully, that's any great sitcom from the past. There is a character running away from his wife or his girlfriend and hiding. I mean, you name it. The Honeymooners, I don't care. All the way through. Sure. Yeah. That is one of the bare bones keys to a great sitcom to me. And
who's the one that's cracked you up? Like where you're like, we're in the middle of a scene, you didn't see it coming because.
Well, by the way, I must say that I'm the best, Susie's second best at not losing it. Okay. So then you're the perfect person to ask. Sometimes when Larry loses it and he keeps going, I have to laugh. So.
Well, he's the easiest to have cracked out, right?
He'll crack you hand him a fork, he'll just look at it and start laughing.
It was funny the other day when we were going through our social situations to, when he comes on, we ask him, tell us what's appropriate and what's not. Right. All I said was, so you're going on a short, you're with friends going on a short trip. He started laughing hysterically just over those words.
One thing that I've always found fascinating doing Curb Your Enthusiasm is the first take or so of a scene that is hilarious. Yeah. And he sees it on his feet. He starts laughing hysterically because he's sitting at a desk writing this, and then it's there, and it's insane, and it's exactly what he was thinking, and he just bursts out laughing. I have to say, the only person on set that consistently made me laugh, and I don't want to start crying, was Bob Einstein. Like, everyone else on the show, I appreciate them, I respect them. Yeah. They do make me laugh, and I love working with them.
Right.
But Bob was the only one. Listen to me! What the? I mean, the yarmulke! And then after the yarmulke scene, like throwing down the yarmulke, don't take my yarmulke. He would walk up and go, wasn't that great? That was great, was it? Did you see? And so that is the stuff that made me laugh the hardest was Bob. And the guest stars, something. But really, I'm not the big laugher on set. I'm actually a pro on set with that stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
You got a favorite ep?
Oh, geez. Well, early on, it's been Wandering Bear. The one where Larry and I are watching Girls Gone Wild, and Susie's vagina itches. and Wandering Bear helps. That's because that's a standalone episode. There's nothing. It's not part of the story.
Those are some of the best.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I like. I don't know. Name one, and I'll tell you if I.
No. I'm sure. I mean, we could just go on.
By the way, though, I appreciate the Palestinian chicken, and Larry and I were laughing while we were making it, but it wasn't one where I went, that is like the Susie with the wieners by her mouth.
Just from this past year, you're talking about.
The scene that I filmed with Susie and Larry in the kitchen and in the living room talking about it, those are look, what Larry and I really are proud of.
Yes.
Is that Curb Your Enthusiasm is the first televised sitcom where the actors actually laugh at one another. Like I'll say it, The Big Bang Theory, for example.
Sure.
And they'd say a joke. By the way, well-written joke.
Of course.
And then everyone else is like, now I'll do my line. And it's like, no, he just said something funny. What is your reaction? So that scene in the kitchen and in the nonstop laughter. We were making each other. That one we were making each other. And then once I said a hint of jizz on the billboard. But by the way, one of my greatest accomplishments. Hold on. By the way, that's a great term. One of my.
Sounds like one of your fantasy team's names.
By the way,
careful.
Holy. By the way, that would be a great. I got to do a new league. All my teams are spoken for with my names. Where was I going? Hold on.
You mentioned that line.
Oh, okay. So HBO put up a billboard from the show.
Right.
To people go, oh, there's the billboard. I go on the Curb Your Enthusiasm site where they showed it on Instagram, and I write, please someone paint dicks by her mouth. Please. And guess what? This art collective did. And then when they said, how did you get away with it? They go, Jeff Garlin gave us permission. And I went, yes. Now, here's the crazier thing. I one day I knew that was there. I didn't know there were wieners or anything yet. And I got there the day after the wieners were drawn in. And it was just, oh my God. I took a bunch of pictures for Susie. It's the greatest thing, by the way. This season has been so well received, but Susie, to get that kind of attention, I mean, the wieners on the billboards went everywhere. She's so great. Everyone's great on that. I'm honored to be around those people.
The whole crew, the whole cast. It's and you say you're not sentimental. See, I know you're just like chiseling away.
No, but the point is, I'll probably weep in the future. But currently, I'm very happy.
What an incredible run! 12 seasons, 24 years. It's a quarter century.
See either one of them air. I'll be in an airplane both times, but I can tell you that I might watch them depending on what I hear.
All right, well,
have you ever heard a guy on a show who's also one of the executive producers? Yeah, I may watch it. Let me see what I hear. Because I don't like watching myself.
Honestly, this coming up Sunday, and I know you do, it's like Fight Club. You don't talk about it. The cameo, and I think what you're talking about.
It's more than a cameo. It's a regular acting job.
It's
unexpected.
But I mean, you're right. And it'll be something that everyone's going to be talking about, so you can't, as Larry say, assume tape. You can't just hold it off. People will be tweeting about it on the spot as soon as it happens. So that's Sunday, and then there's the finale, which is terrific. But also, I think it's definitely a finale. Like this is it. And Larry said he's done.
Here's
Larry
the thing.
said he is done.
Is it really? You always come back. He has never said the words to me, I'm done. He has never said that until this season. No, I'm done. And I knew why he was done, and it made sense to me, and I agreed with it. And 121 episodes, the 1 hour pilot, and then 120. Man, am I grateful. And to be part of that, and it made sense to me. And so we go, is it really? I try not to go, yeah, it's as if they're the one who keeps asking me. But the truth is, he's never said those words. And then when you watch the last episode, you go, oh, this is the last episode.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, for the record, no one dies. Except in real life, Richard.
Oh my gosh.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's like on the show, nobody. And by the way, wasn't it weird them discussing death on a previous episode that he wanted Larry in
his will? I know. In the golf cart. Golf cart.
But Richard, here's the thing. All of us have, I have a bouncy, happy sense of humor, and also don't sit next to a comedian at a funeral, because we are completely inappropriate and we say the darkest things. Larry has that, Richard has that, and so doing that kind of comedy was not something like, I don't feel comfortable.
Well, I think everyone has it, which is why Curb is connected with so many people for a quarter century.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's it.
People. But by the way, we're a real show, and I think we appeal to real people. And I think we appeal. At worst, when you watch our show, you have a sense of humor. Because nobody without a sense of humor is going to get anything from that show. Larry makes me nervous or whatever. Susie's mean to Jeff. Which, by the way, people ask me
Can't confirm.
All these years, people have asked me. I've been leaning back too much and not up. It's better okay. Look up. By the way, I just started watching Monk. I love it. So anyhow, it really is good. It's on Netflix. I'm delighted by it. I love it. All right, anyhow, Monk. But so Susie gets asked, and I get asked most of how's Jeff's reaction? Well, Susie's one of my best friends. There, I'm a comedian who's an actor.
Nice.
And so all I'm thinking about is, no callback intended, is the craft service table. Like, I'm not even remotely thinking, she's being mean. And you know what I've always thought, and it worked? Even though she says it on occasion because it's just funny, if I don't want her to call me a fat buck.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, do not lose weight. And I did. And then it didn't make sense, and we didn't do it. I think we did it one time this season for whatever reason. She did it on a thing. It was funny. Maybe I should do a spinoff with Susie. I really, it's been mentioned, and I watch that and I go, we'd be we love each other. She's one of my best friends, and we would have a lot of fun doing that. But I would only do it if Jeff Schaefer wrote it, Larry wrote it,
of course.
I wrote it with them. It would have to be an in-house thing. Now we could get another producer that would work under Larry and Jeff. But that would be the only way I would do it. I would not do it with HBO and say, would you do this? Yes, if my compadres, and Schaefer's the guy who holds the show together.
He's phenomenal.
He holds the show together.
Yeah.
He's for those of you listening, he's one of the producers and directs almost all the episodes. But he holds it up. I would be lost. Do you know what I do? This is 100%.
Yes,
Why
Jeff
would
Garlin.
I make it up?
By the way, our radio audience has returned. Jeff Garlin is here.
Welcome, radio audience. You missed the beginning, which the Roku people loved. They loved it.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the actor, comedian.
I'm about to tell something.
Sorry.
What was I about to say?
You're Jeff Schaefer. You were saying something about him. You loved him, or
you and Susie doing the show together.
Yeah, no, I know that was before. Shut up. You and your death row.
He's not happy.
All these dead people next to him.
His funny thing is, all right, Jeff Garlin is here. This is a perfect way to jump into this conversation.
And I forgot. I'll remember another time when I come on what I was going to say.
So you were upset with TJ for an April Fool's gag 3 years ago.
Which, by the way, who's happier than me that didn't happen?
That's literally what I am bringing up. Like, you were so into Russell Wilson coming to Chicago.
It was like anything.
Right.
Please save us. Anything.
Right.
You know, it's kind of like how Pittsburgh is right now, really. Please, somebody. But I want to tell you something.
Yes.
Chicago loved Justin Fields, and we were sad to see him go. We're very excited about Caleb Williams. But I want to say wholeheartedly that Justin Fields caught the heart of Chicago. And I don't think he got a fair shot. And then once he started to show something, he would have cost too much.
Do me a favor here and give a little bit more voice to this, because I think most National Football League fans outside of Chicago seeing Fields just as maybe a fantasy football quarterback who would burst and give them multiple points in fantasy or beat their fantasy team.
Consider we play each other in fantasy, although you weren't in it last year, was you?
No, we got kicked out of that league.
You did not get kicked out.
We 100% got kicked out of that league. But that's for another day.
Shut your grandma's balls, really?
But Justin Fields, and certainly after he was traded away for a 6th-round draft choice in next year's draft that could be a 4, a lot of people don't compute why Bears fans are disappointed that Justin Fields is not there anymore. Like, what did you fall in love with him about? Like,
it's a mixed feeling. No, the guy's a leader, and his teammates love him, and people were chanting his name outside of the game in Green Bay, which none of us were at,
right?
And I have season tickets. People were chanting his name, and he was electrifying. He was not consistent. He was electrifying, and I blame that on the different regimes. And then finally, he got a good regime, Ryan Poles regime.
I know,
but Ryan Poles, great. If Ryan Poles, would you let him know I want to have dinner with him when I'm in Chicago?
Absolutely, I will do
we'll
that.
Go for deli.
Yes.
So anyhow, there was time to move on. I understand the Bears' point of view, and I agree with it. But he did his best. And he brought us moments of excitement that we've never seen from a quarterback.
Well, and I think the reason why you should be particularly excited as well, and I think you are, is normally when you get a rookie quarterback, it takes some time to build up everything around him.
Right.
Certainly when you're choosing first overall, because it's normally a super fun site that's caused you to have that first overall pick.
Yes.
But it does appear and that the pieces are there. Defensively, they're a top 10 defense.
If we had a good pass rusher like Montez Sweat,
right.
We would be a top 5 defense. Easy.
Right.
That's the thing we've been missing is the other. Sweat changed everything. But,
and I think they became a top 5. I mean, I don't know the numbers, but it felt like they were a top 5 defense in the last month and a half.
By the way, very Sweat
young
changed
secondary
everything.
In the back.
Oh, it's
right?
It's constant delight. And the offense has been a constant depression except for Justin Fields and, of course, DJ Moore this past season. Yeah, it's just, so when he left, it was a feeling of, that guy, he did he gave his heart to, that's what it is. He gave his heart to Chicago, and he was genuine. And now, you think, unless they have another plan for Justin long term, you think that anyone has a chance to beat him out of camp? His skill set is above and beyond anyone will beat in a 100-mile pit. Russell Wilson cannot beat him out of camp. It's impossible unless the Steelers want to just get him a
red shirt year of some sort?
Like a red shirt year, where we just...
But this is the only year they're going to have him under contract. I don't think they're going to pick up a 5th-year option. That's the whole point of this.
No, hold on. Unless they have a plan. And their plan might include the 5th-year option. I don't know.
Or signing him.
Or signing him. But yes. The point of it is, no. If Russell Wilson beats him out of camp, there's a reason behind the scenes, because I'm sorry, Justin Fields, he can blow probably, I'm going to use that phrase, but he can beat, I would say 90% of NFL quarterbacks coming out of camp, because he's that talented, he's that much of a leader, he's that positive, but he didn't have the things. He's not gotten the things.
Well, I think the things are there for Caleb Williams. I mean,
my God, are they ever there?
I mean, we'll have to see what the line looks like, but I think the weaponry is there, and they also have the 9th overall pick on top of it.
If you go back to the Peyton era, which is the Peyton on the Mount Rushmore with Barry Sanders, Jim Brown, what have you, of running backs, the offensive line, colorful and delightful, and some guys were great, but a lot of it was crap. Wide receivers, they had different people in and out of there. No one half as good as DJ Moore. Willie Gault, probably the best of them. But look what Peyton did for that offense. And whoever the quarterback was might as well have been just a question mark in his uniform playing. And so now there's an actual offense. Are you kidding me? A real offense? God bless you, Ryan Poles. Look at the chess game you're winning. Look at the chess game you're winning.
Do you like the coach?
I do. Have I been one of the people over the course who said, yes. And may I also say that for him, if he can't make it this year, he's gone. They have to be 9-7 at worst for this guy not to be fired.
Well, I think it does depend on how Caleb Williams...
He's going to come in and be excellent. He might not be a Hall of Famer when he comes in. He certainly has a skill set. But with all those things around him,
right,
and a really good offensive coordinator, I think he'll shine. But good.
You got to be out of your mind excited. I mean, I am, because I think he is the real thing. We saw what C.J. Stroud can do as a rookie quarterback last year. That's the new bar.
This is a guy who actually is supposedly more talented than C.J. Stroud. They're comparing him to
Physically,
Patrick
you're talking
Mahomes.
about, right.
Yeah, C.J. Stroud, by the way, is there a more inept franchise in the history of sports than the Carolina Panthers? I mean, what they've done, all the decisions they've made right and left, they are firmly in the toilet.
Well, they've helped you out. I mean, they helped you out by coming up and
here's what I say.
Well, let's put it this way: they put the picks in the hands of Poles, who's really done a good job.
They put the Hicks in the hands. I can't say that. Yes, but I know what I say to the Carolina Panthers: Sei gesund.
Nice.
Live and be well.
Oh,
I'm a Jew. Can we talk about the Cubs, or am I out of time?
You're not out of time.
All right, good. I love doing this show with you.
I love having you.
I love you. By the way,
yes, sir.
First time in a million moons that I saw you at the Curb premiere.
Yes.
But it's been years since we spent time together, and we're people who would want to spend time together. And this is the first talk show I've done. 3 years, 5 years, well, I don't even know.
And I appreciate you doing
this,
man.
I'm happy to be here, but I tore my quads and my knee, been recovering from that. I had spine surgery, all sorts of things. So, no, it's a long journey, but everything was successful, and I'm good, but I really didn't want to come today because my back hurt.
What are you thinking about the Cubs?
Okay. I think the Cubs, why they're even discussing who might win the Central Division is beyond me. Because you take last year's team, which is better, and combine it with Craig Counsell. I mean, I love Jeff Ross. I love Jeff Ross, too. I love David Ross. David Ross, I heard Jeff Ross owns the roast with Tom Brady.
He does now. Yes.
Can I just say something?
Yes.
I watched the Patriots doc. Brady came out looking pretty gosh darn good, but I want to say this: stay out of my business. Get your ass out of comedy. You are great, but only to a certain level. You are not remotely funny. You should be not allowed near comedy. All right.
But
so
you
the
also,
Cubs.
Yes, go ahead.
So the Cubs, having Craig Counsell with that quality of a squad, in baseball use the words, well, football used to be, what was the squad name they had for football? The backups? I don't remember. But anyhow, that combination with a smart president of baseball operations, smart GM. I'm sorry, all the moves that they made with I am thrilled.
You are.
And to me, it's not even. They will make the playoffs. I don't know if they win a series or not. I don't. But the idea that there's any question mark, like the Cardinals would play better, or any of these teams would be better. The one that could on a fluke be better is the Reds, because they're filled with young talent. But that's the thing, young talent. That's all they have is young talent. And young talent screws up. Look at me with my opinions.
I love them. Listen. I love seeing you here. I love.
I want to say another thing.
Yes.
I'm going opening day, which will be April 1st. So it'll be the most blessed day on earth and the worst day on earth, because non-pros try and be funny. And it's a day where people who aren't funny, like Tom Brady, I bet you Tom Brady loves playing April Fool's jokes. Anyone who's funny does not do an April Fool's joke, because they're funny all year. And April Fool's jokes are just like, I fooled you, that's funny. No. And the other thing is, next weekend I'm doing the stretch at Wrigley on the 5th.
Yeah.
They're first the Dodgers, and Odenkirk's doing it on the 7th, and we're going to the game together on the 6th, and I'll be at his game. He's slanging late for my game. He won't be there.
Fantastic.
But it's a great weekend. I'm also going to a Sox game versus the Braves. Going to see Acuna play in Chicago, and that'll be all.
Then you're set up.
Yeah, and there's food.
Right. And the curb.
I make thoughtful choices. People want to know how to lose weight. Just make thoughtful choices. Be present. That's it. There's no easy thing.
Curb Your Enthusiasm this week. Check it out on HBO, 10 Eastern Time, and of course on Max right here on the Roku portal.
I know I'm taking it over. Listen, Curb Your Enthusiasm on HBO this week. Do you think that any of the people who listen to this show are the kind of people, you know what, I'm going to check it out?
Maybe.
No, I would gather that most of your listeners and viewers watch Curb.
Yeah, they already know.
Their audiences, anyone who would listen to you would like Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Well, we're simpatico.
No, but you are that way. Larry knows that. I know that. So I love that you gave us the plug. Maybe one person.
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
One extra one.
Yeah, man,
one at a time, man.
Yeah. All right, so now you can wrap it up.
Okay,
now.
and you can watch it right here on the Roku portal the next day on HBO. On Max.
Who doesn't love the Roku portal? Have you ever looked through there? I've seen a lot of things in that portal. The good people at Roku, there's things they're not telling you. Just look through the portal.
Look through the portal. Jeff Garlin, I love you, man. Thanks for coming.
I love you too, pal.
All
so
right.
happy to be here.
Likewise.
Hold on. One last.
Yeah. Should I just...
That's it. Yeah. Give me a handsome. Now give me a goofy. That was hilarious.
There you go.
One I used.
I can do goofy.
Okay.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.